What's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna just show you guys a little graphic, a little explanation on why it's kind of stupid to quit and why God didn't really create you to be a quitter. So let's get started, right? So we have a hill. We're gonna call this work on me mountain. Work on me mountain, right? And we're gonna have two colors, right? So this is you. This little small guy right here. All right, that's you. And whatever you're working on, whether it be your business, whether it be music, a business, a career, being a doctor, school, regardless, where you're learning something new, this is that. This big boulder right here, that's you. All right. So one thing I want you guys to have in mind is an object in motion cannot be stopped by something smaller. Alright? I want you guys, obviously that's common sense, but I want you guys to know that, right? So an object in motion cannot be stopped by something smaller, right? And an object in motion can be stopped by something bigger or thrown off its course by something bigger, right? For example, if you're riding a bike or if you're driving a car and you crash into a 16-wheeler, you're gonna be stopped or you're gonna be off your course, right? But if you're driving a car and a fly hits you, you're not gonna feel it, right? You're still gonna be on course. It's not gonna stop you, right? So I want you guys to remember that, right? All right. So one thing I want you guys to know is I want you guys to go open your Bibles. Remember Genesis chapter 9, all right? And in Genesis chapter 9, the Lord tells Noah to kind of I call it the key to success. He tells Noah to be fruitful, do multiply, and this is just short form, will have dominion. All right. So he kind of gives us a little formula of success right there, and he kind of tells us to be, do, and have. For this, like Noah from Noah's Ark, he tells us this in chapter 9. But in a way, I use this as the key to success in terms of he's telling all of us, he's telling mankind, right? So he tells us to be fruitful, do multiply, and have dominion, which means be, do, have. So if you just take the first three words, right? He tells us to be, do, have. So one thing that I get from that is he tells you to be the person that does the thing that ends up having their destination or their. Remember, this is you, right? And this is the beginning of your journey, whether that be business, singing, or anything. This is you. This is you. That's the business. Or that is your singing. That is your sport that you're trying to learn. That is the guitar you're trying to learn, regardless, whatever. Right? So one thing that I want you guys to know is that if God told us to be fruitful, do multiply, and have dominion, to be, do, have, that means us as a person, we can be the person that does the thing that has the success that we're looking for, which means we grow as a person, right? So one thing that I want you guys to remember is God gave us a brain and we can learn and we can create things and do things with that brain. This does not have a brain. We do. So if this does not have a brain, therefore it cannot grow, therefore it cannot think, therefore it cannot beat us, because we are created in God's image and we are amazing. And we are creators. Not the creator, but we are created to create. We have a brain and it does not. So if we have a brain, that means if we be the person that does the thing, we end up growing. And what happens when we end up growing is that we become a bigger person, right? And when we become a bigger person, this object becomes way easier to push up the mountain of work on me mountain, right? And the reason I call it work on me mountain is because this will work on you before it works for you. I want you guys to know that whenever you guys are trying something new, whether that be a business, music, sport, anything, it's going to work on you before it works for you. And that's why a lot of people quit. I had an issue where I would try something new and quit all the time because I would not let it work on me for long enough before it worked for me. And obviously getting close to the Lord and reading the Bible, that kind of, my perspective, my paradigm shifted on that, right? So if you keep doing the things and by being the person that does the things, you end up growing. And what happens when you end up growing is that this eventually becomes smaller. because you become a bigger mass. And if you're a bigger mass, this becomes smaller. So therefore, it becomes easier to pull up the mountain. So if you're a bigger person pushing this up the mountain, the object becomes smaller. Therefore, it becomes easier to push up the mountain. And what a lot of people don't realize is this is where it works on you. This is the work on me side, all right, of the mountain, right? This is the work on me side. This is when that thing that you're doing is working on you instead of working for you. This is where you're becoming the bigger and the better person. And that object, that obstacle is becoming smaller because you're becoming bigger. Therefore, you can put it up the mountain. And once you guys are moving it up the mountain, it becomes easier. You gain all this momentum. This is all momentum that you're getting. And once you're getting that momentum, you get to a point up here. And at this point, at the tipping point, you're a big boy or a big girl. And you've continuously became the person day in and day out. You've done the thing, and now you're probably ready to have the success, right? You've woken up and every day you've told yourself, I'm gonna become the person that does the thing that ends up having the success, right? I want you guys to remember, be, do, have, right? So if you're the person, you're this big person on the tipping point. At this point, the object is much smaller than you. But now you're coming up to the tipping point of the mountain. And the tipping point of the mountain, this is the work for me side. And all that momentum that you've gained here now goes with gravity instead of against it. Right here, you're going against gravity, right? Because gravity goes down, so you're going against gravity. So you're pushing a boulder up. That boulder is your business and all that. You're pushing that boulder up against gravity. That's why things at the beginning feel so difficult. That's why things feel impossible at the beginning, because you're going against gravity and you're constantly trying to become a bigger and better person by moving a heavy boulder, right? At this point, at the tipping point, and now you're going on this side, now you're on the work for me side. Now you're going with gravity. So all the momentum that you've gained here now goes this way, down the mountain. And that's when you're a big person again, but the object that you've been working on is so teeny tiny. And then down here, obviously, that's your bread. That's where the success is, that's where the money is, everything, right? And the reason why, and this is the part where you see when you see people like Andrew Tate, Luke Belmar, other business owners, successful artists, athletes, where they just pop out of nowhere and they start destroying the league, or they become the most famous person on the internet, or they start making millions and millions of dollars just so quickly, and you're like, whoa, where did this guy come from? You don't know how long they've been on this side of the mountain. It could have been months, years for them, and you're only them seeing them here. That's why it feels like it's so easy for them. And that's why on this side of the mountain, people say success is so easy, because they've had all these years of momentum and becoming the person that does the things to end up having the success that they deserve. And I want you guys to realize this is the easy side. This is the hard part. But 95% of people cannot get past this part to end up having this part, right? And actually, a lot of people quit right here. They quit right here. That's why I constantly tell people, why would you quit before you made it? You might as well quit when you've made it, because you don't know how close you are. You don't know how many days you are from everything compounding and working for you. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, like, success happened to me overnight. It feels that way because you have so much momentum that one morning, one night, it just all clicks and bling, you just fall down the mountain and you're on the work for me side. And that's why people say, oh, it's just overnight I became successful, or I felt like overnight I became successful. 95% of people quit right here, or like around this area, right before they're gonna reach the tipping point. And what they don't realize is they're just a couple days away, maybe a couple months, maybe even just a year. But a year might seem a long time to people, but are you willing to just work for one more year rather than have a lifetime of success? And I want to end it. I hope you guys realize this. I hope this ingrains in your mind. But see, I want to bring it back to this. An object in motion cannot be stopped by something smaller. So you then have to become bigger than the object. So you're the object in motion that doesn't stop. That does not get stopped. So you become the object in motion that does not get stopped. So now you are the 16-wheeler that I said at the beginning that gets hit by the car. You don't really get touched. Now instead of the fly, now you're the car, right? And then the object that you've been working on becomes the fly. You can just kick it out of the way and keep being successful. And I want to end it off on this. In Genesis chapter 9, the Lord tells Noah to be fruitful, do multiply, and have dominion, to be who I am, to be the person that does the thing that has success in the future. This is the key to success. This is the key to anything, to living a fruitful life, living a glorious life under the Lord, and being successful in your way by providing value to others. This is how you do it. But for everyone that's in here, for anyone that's in this part of the mind, I want you guys to know one thing. God is working on you guys with that. And while it seems hard, and trust me, I know it's hard, find joy in the fact that you're continuously, every day, becoming a better person and becoming a more glorified person in the eyes of the Lord, to then be the king of your thing or the queen of your scene if you're a woman, right? I want you guys to always be grateful in the fact that you guys are constantly improving. No matter how painful it is, you guys are constantly improving. Have gratitude and joy every day that you wake up, that you guys are striving to become a better person. And one thing I'm gonna end it off is, look, if you guys quit, I don't know when you guys are gonna make it. I don't know when you guys are gonna make it. I have no idea when you guys are gonna make it. But one thing I do know is that if you guys quit, you guys won't ever make it. So you might as well just keep working, because one day it'll work. And one day it'll stop working on you and end up working for you. And one thing that I live by is, for a person who never quits, I've never seen them never make it. Because they have so much momentum and so much of this compounding that they get to the tipping point that this just becomes so easy that they just fall gracefully on the work for me side, and then they go to success and they go to the bread. So I want you guys to picture this. I want you guys to realize this and really engrave this in your minds, to never quit, to keep doing your plan, to keep doing your thing, to keep doing the will that God put you on this earth for. And remember to be the person that does the things, that has dominion. Go read Genesis chapter 9. Go really understand what the Lord is telling Noah, and just take this in, guys. Like I said, God didn't make you to quit. God made you to persevere, prosper, and have abundance just like Him. He created you in His image. He's not a quitter. So if you quit, that's not really a godly thing to do, right? Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys liked the explanation. Let me know if you guys like the white boy stuff. I'm going to bring more of it. More explanation, more analogies for you to understand visually. But yeah, anyways, peace out. Go be fruitful.